Hi guys, I have known Pooja for I think over 3 years now, and she's fantastic. Like she's so resilient. I just sometimes don't know where she gets that energy from. How is she so positive? How is she so honest? How does she manage to be so vulnerable and still turn out to be so positive? So I have just so much to learn from her each time I meet her, chat with her, stumble upon her Instagram page. She is just fabulous. And for everybody, like, Instagram sometimes I feel can add this layer of filter to people. She is literally the person that you meet and the person that you see on Instagram is the same person, which is a very, very rare quality, guys. So, so much more power to her. You guys have
Hi.
hey, see, that's why I tell you, you're like sunshine. Now when you jati ho, you just like, you just exude that sunshine. Dude, what are you made of? Like, really, how
I
do you
was no, no,
radiate so much?
right now. I was listening to what you were talking about me, and I'm like this.
You are so amazing. How have you been? Or like,
I have
how are
been
you
good.
today?
Today I am good. I was super excited. I've been waiting, like, okay, now it's like 1 hour to go, half an hour to go. Okay, I better
Come
change. I better.
on.
No, I'm serious. It's so much fun to like catch up. I know, and especially because we hardly get to meet, go out now. Actually, we don't get to go out. So this actually feels like, oh my God, I'm finally getting to socialize. So yes, I'm super excited.
Yeah, no, but really, we've seen everything that has been happening, whether it's Nora's third birthday or all the awesome stuff that you're doing. I like my kids are way past that age, but I still love like the yesterday the therapy that you did, which was the hand therapy that you were doing with her, where you were rolling something and she was on the board. I think you were doing something. Yeah,
Yeah, the tactile play. Okay, yeah. So
right. So
she's
I'm
supposed to
like,
guess the, yeah.
I was like, wow, she is so patient, so patient. And I'm like, when can I be
No,
learn? When
listen,
can
let
I?
me tell you, there is an app called like Edit, right? So you don't see the guy, I'm not patient. So it all always appears that I'm always so like, but it's not true.
Yeah. Like somebody asked me the other day, how are you so patient and what do you do when your kids fight? And I'm like, I'm trying to think and I'm such a goofy parent and you know this. I've just started recording their videos and showing it back to them so they know how they look when they're like clawing each other apart,
Oh,
right? Because I don't know what to do. Like I think
but
siblings are
that's
supposed to
great.
fight and they continue to fight. So I said, I don't really have an answer, but I have a nice answer to it, which is to start filming them. Now, do you want to be that? You decide. If you want to continue, if you don't want to. She's like, you really do this? I was like, or I can't think of anything else. Yeah, I don't know how parents
But
control
it's
their children.
amazing because as it like when I take Nora for therapy, what they tell us to do is when you record their stuff and make them watch it, they know what they're capable of doing, so they have the confidence of doing it. So this is pretty much like you show them this is what you're capable of doing and you shouldn't be doing.
Right. So and I just learned it like when I'm practicing
Know what
one of my
happened.
yoga poses or whatever, and I need to correct myself or I don't know if my alignment is right or whatever because I haven't seen a teacher for over 4 months. So I just tell them just record so I know where my body is going and whatever. And it's like, chalo, same rule. Let's implement it here. Let's see if it works. Right. Um,
I have seen you do yoga, and I think two people that super impress me is like one you and one my mom. My God, you guys have like literally yoga body goals. Like I cannot even imagine my any part of my body bending in that direction or whichever
yeah, but it's
direction or
taken.
defying
It's
gravity.
trust me, if you do it every single day for the last 10 years, ho jayega. Like I wasn't born with a
I
gymnast
know, but
body,
the
right? I'm a Gujarati.
consistency
I'm like a
is
khate pite ghar ka baby, right? So there's just no way that I would have inherited those genes for
the
sure.
commitment
Um,
and consistency is amazing. It's motivating. Trust me, when I watch that, I'm like, I should be doing this. And mummy's like, you too se dekh. To kar mat. I'm like, no, mom, promise I'll do it. You only push her, you don't do anything. So I'm like,
which
yeah.
is amazing because I always feel we always channelize towards doing one thing at a time, right? So right now your priority is something else, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But tell me, how have you been? How is it to work with Nora in these times when you are so anxious, you are so stressed? How do you Pooja stay sane? Because That anxiety has to pass off to your child as well, right?
No, so fortunately for me, what has happened is we like started going when the lockdown happened. We were like, okay, yeah, it'll be for some time or whatever. Let's just enjoy. So it all started with being not having a routine as such, having a routine, but not having therapy in our
Yeah.
routine. And
Yeah.
then I realized that we started slacking off in therapy. So I was like, okay, now we have to do something because she was so used to that. We could see the effects of her not going through, not going out to play, not doing anything. So, you tend to become dull. And I didn't want that for her because then I used to get bored. Fortunately, we had online school. So that would keep her busy with our activities. But therapy was equally important. Fortunately, we had done medic therapy we had done an intensive in December. So I had got everything made, those equipments
That
made.
was the time
And
that you
they,
went to Dubai, right? Was that the
Oh
same
no, that
time?
was in Hyderabad. The therapist was
Okay.
down from Toronto, and it was the first time ever Medec was in India, and
Yeah.
we were doing that. And not a lot of people have heard of that therapy either. So, and then the second one we did was in Jan in Dubai. Yeah, I picked up a lot while seeing that, and I thought if I could, I had all the videos with me, so I was like, if I replicate that at home and try and do it, she's learning, I'm learning, we could just see where it goes. So we
Right.
just started doing that every day. And I mean, I got the hang of it. She got the hang of me doing it with her. So I guess therapy is no looking back. Then we started speech and other normal therapies as well in school and no looking back from there. So it's as routine as how it was before lockdown for us, at least in terms of therapy and stuff.
Would you recommend that parents continue to have that routine and continue to have the therapies while the kids are at home because it kind of
Yeah.
puts that sort of continuity?
Yeah, I think therapy for kids who need it, who have low muscle tone, and even generally kids. For us also, if we need therapy, if we have that break, if I'm seeing a psychologist or a psychotherapist, and I get that break, it's going to build up in me. I need to have that for
Okay.
any one of us. So
Yeah.
even for Nora, she needs it. This is a part of her growing up. It's not like, it's almost like breathing. It has to be done. So it's almost like that. Like, it's almost like you doing yoga. You have to do it
Yeah.
because you feel
Yeah.
good. So it's just like,
Absolutely.
just because it's lockdown, you won't stop doing it. Not like me, but I'm just saying. So yeah,
Right.
so it just keeps us, that routine just keeps us going. There's one constant which is there for her, which helps her process. And I think that is very important for us. No matter what happens, you have one constant going for you.
Also, Pooja, how did that pan out, right? Because you also had, how were you kind of managing the schedule, right? Because, literally, like you had to absorb everything in house. So, did you learn everything along with her? Like, you feel like you've literally become the teacher in the process, and
Yeah.
uh, how does that happen? Because here everybody is saying no online school, no online school, and do you feel like that education is important for your child at this point in time, that online learning process?
I Early years of education and development, child development is only that much, right? So it doesn't matter what chaos or what noise is around you. I mean, you need to focus on that because there's only 6 years or 7 years that you could give into as much as you can get out of it. I mean, in your own way, however you would choose to incorporate it. I prefer somebody helping me, leading me the way because I don't know how to go about it. So I prefer the online school method where they give us the activities to do. So at least I don't have to rack my brain. Oh my God, what do I come up with? Or, what am I supposed to do if I need to teach her these concepts? Like, how do I come up with those concepts? So at least
Correct.
there is a guideline. And, it's also helpful to have somebody communicate with, I'm not able to do this. Or maybe because with Nora, I've always had guidance. So I
Yeah.
feel like it's a part of, learning for me along with her. So I prefer having that guide along with me at all times, whether it's in school, whether it's therapy, or whether it's just generally goofing around. We are anyways doing that. So
Which is interesting. And tell me, in this process, you also your husband and your mother-in-law, right? If I'm not
yeah,
mistaken.
yeah.
Yeah, they both got COVID at the same time. So did you feel like there was a support system breakdown and there was just too much pressure on you?
What happened was, my mom-in-law was not feeling well. So, I mean, Vivek was anyway supposed to go and meet her. And in that morning, we got to know that she was a little unwell. So he went there to meet her. And then he's like, I think it could be COVID. Let's just get your test done. So they got the test done and she tested positive. And then he got his test done. So obviously he tested positive. So Fortunately, I had bought my parents to live in with me, but when Vivek left, my parents left too. So that 1 week I had no support system in terms of family.
Your
Of course,
parents
I
are
had.
from Bombay or they're not
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Bombay?
they're from Bombay.
They,
They're from Bombay. So
okay.
they also left to go home. Vivek was tested positive with COVID. So for 1.5 week, I had nobody to. So I was literally call my neighbors from down and be like, okay, I have a therapy session. I need one of your family members to come up. I need help for therapy. So I was reaching out to, and I would call my
Sweet.
dad. Can you just come for like, I have therapy from this time to this time. Can you just come for that time at home? Because, I need help. Unfortunately, because our nanny is pregnant, so she wouldn't be able to help. So only for that 1 hour of like physical therapy session or something, I would get like beg, borrow, like please somebody, I need somebody. But apart from that, it was okay. I think it was mentally more very disturbing because Vivek is like all the time for so long, for so many months, we were all together. And then
Yeah.
suddenly now he's gone, and not like he's just gone to meet them, but now he's also fallen sick. We
Tell
were
me, were you
like,
extra cautious because does Nora have a weak immunity system? So were you extra cautious that will she be able to deal with this pandemic? Because now Vivek has also got it, mother-in-law's also got it. Like you literally like them getting it, but you literally don't know who's transmitting it
yeah,
to you, right?
yeah, yeah.
So were you extra cautious? Should parents be extra cautious with children?
I know that we're told that kids with special needs have low immunity, so we need to build on their immunity. So that is another reason why we didn't take Nora out for almost 4.5 months. Now we just took her down in the building like a few days ago. So when Vivek did go there and he did get it, I was like, in a way, that's good because you get done and over with it while I take care of her. And then
That's
when
good.
I get it, you'll be there to take care of her. So either
Pooja,
one of
how do you
us.
see the positive in everything? Yeah, it's
This was just
amazing.
no, this is just something that seemed practical at that point. You get done and over with it, so that whenever I have to get it, then I get done and over with it. So that is
You're
my,
amazing.
how
You're
no, I looked at it. I swear at times, like there have been times where I'm like, the only time I'm going to be alone is when I have COVID. So maybe it's not that bad. Sometimes when I'm just like pulling my hair apart, I'm like, maybe that's what I need. I just need COVID. And then I'll be alone for 14 days. Downtime. I'll be suffering, but at least I'll be alone and doing my thing. So that's how I see it. If you get it, you get your downtime, you recover, and you get over with it. Because all of us are going to get it at some point. We just have to be practical about if we can get our kids we have caretakers for our kids, it's just nicer. That's all.
right. But so you were extra like
Yeah,
precarious, right? Like you would like
yeah, yeah.
double sanitize every single thing because of
Yeah,
her.
yes, we have been paranoid, and my dad has been extra paranoid. So I think it's like rubbing on to us as well because of Nora, mainly because of Nora. And
Yeah. So tell me
the,
any tips there that you want to share with people that this is what I did. I think it works. Anything like that?
so we just like, whenever we get our veggies from outside, we just put them in a big, tub, and we put water, and then we put like apple cider vinegar. It's basically the same
Yeah.
thing. We put it for wash, and then we get it, and then any box that comes home, we're like spraying sanitizer all over it, keeping it out for some time in the balcony. And the next day we get it in, we open it up, and then pretty much sanitize 5 liters of
Right.
bottles of sanitizers with us.
But tell me also, when Vivek got it, how did you like? What was it that you told yourself to stay sane? Like, how do you say, I'm gonna get through this?
When he got it, he underplayed his situation. So that calmed me because if he had told me what he was going through, like literally play by play, I would have lost it. So he like majorly underplayed it, and he's like, it's nothing. Literally, I am not feeling anything. And then when they were in the hospital, my mom-in-law and he was underplaying it then as well for me. He's like, actually, I'm just come for her. But it was a good thing that he was there because when he came back, I realized that he was so weak. And this is when he got better. So I can't even imagine what it must have been when he was really sick. So he
Yeah.
underplayed the whole thing. So I guess that just worked in our favor.
The only fear I have is that I need to stay healthy for my children. Like,
Yeah.
what about them? So, did
Yeah.
that kind of cross your head that if something happened, what will happen to me and Nora? Did that cross your head?
So I no, I the only thing I told him is like, we're young, we'll get over it. So we've gotten over a lot of stuff. So I think this is fine. And also I think our way of dealing crisis has changed a lot after Nora has born. The way our threshold for crisis has gotten higher. So I feel that also helped because considering that we were where we were in a place 3 years ago, this just felt like, you know what, it's just you fallen sick, you'll get over it, you feel better, just come home after. So I think that
You
I
just
guess
make it
that
sound so easy.
it's not, I'm telling you, it's only because when you go through something where you feel it's the end of the world, and then something, and you get over that, and then you feel nothing else phases you out. So it just didn't phase me out, or actually it didn't phase him out either. He just
Right.
said, I'm going to be fine. And again, he keeps joking about it. He keeps joking even at his worst and coughing and sputtering all over the place, but he kept underplaying it. So it helped us.
Tell me also, I'm very curious to know, Pooja, what's a day in your life? Like, I'm just very curious. Like, for everybody else, like, I know there are things that keep me safe. Like, when I go through your page, I feel like I know everything about Pooja as a mom, but I want to know Pooja, the woman, right? Like, what is she all about? How does she manage to have this smile, radiating positivity everywhere? Like, how do you do it? Like, what's a day in your life like?
So literally, as of right now, my day revolves around Nora. Unfortunately, there is no way around it because we're not doing anything else. So we wake up at 6:30, and then Vivek gets a breakfast ready, feeds the breakfast, and so my morning is off. I don't do anything in the morning. I just sit, relax, have my coffee or whatever, and then I read a few things, and that's it. And then I take over. We have therapy in the morning, like we have speech therapy, physiotherapy, and then we play games with Nora, or we just like, doing things with Nora, like basic. And then lunchtime, we feed her lunch and then she goes to bed. She takes a nap. And then when she wakes up, now we have started going down, or we would do a second round of therapy, just me and her and Vivek, of Medec. And then post that, we would play a few other, or we go down to our neighbor's house because she's very fond of them. So we'll go there, relax, or we like meet up at the end of the day once or twice a week. We'd meet up just to have a drink or two, discuss like what's going on. And I mean, that's how we've been sane the past 4 months.
Past 4 months.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it's not much to do for me apart from being with Nora. So
yeah.
from being a maid to, yeah,
Being a
to all that,
therapist.
yeah, for being a therapist, to help, to a bhaji wali, to everything, to a cook. And now moving
Yeah.
on to now we have help. So we're grateful
When
for
we
that.
when we actually shared with people that we're actually going to be chatting with you, we had a whole bunch of people ask us, and especially through these times where a lot of I cannot even tell you the amount of people who've written to us in terms of when we post our Sunday affirmations and they write to us that, listen, I needed to read this today.
Yeah.
Or people sending that I'm struggling with my family, or I'm struggling with a situation at home, and I just want to get out of this, and they see escape as only something very, very extreme. Did you ever question why me? And that's the typical thing, right? When anything goes wrong in our lives, people always say that, hey, why me? Right? Do you ever question that?
I've dealt with my why me, and now I feel like there is
So
always
what was the resultant of your why me? Like, what was the answer that you got out of that why me? Like,
I
why did
think
you
everybody
question? And
has, like when I think you always go through something because you got to be pushed to the next level. And if you're not doing it on your own, the universe is going to throw you in it so that you can go to the next level. It's going to break you and it's going to push you, and if you're not going to ready, because there is no way you can accept change in a very happy manner unless you want it. If it's just thrown at you, you'll always question why me. So, and I think it's very important when something's thrown at you, if you like go through it, you're going to realize that it's going to make you a totally different person. At least for me, I have realized why me has been the best thing for me. Like it has changed me to like a completely different person. I was completely antisocial. I used to be like, I'm okay. I don't need to meet people ever. I don't know why people exist.
Really, I
Yes,
thought
yeah,
I was the most antisocial person. Like when people tell me I'm so bored of this lockdown or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, like this could be my life forever, right?
yeah,
But I've understood that for people like us, we're not antisocial, we're just selectively social. Does that make
yeah,
sense? Like I know
absolutely.
who I want to hang with, I know who I
Yeah,
want to be with. Like I
yeah,
could
yeah,
be physically present in a party, but I could be mentally completely tuned off.
yeah.
And that's me because I'm very absent-minded also. So I
No,
don't
but
know.
also because you feel like you want to be at a place where you're getting stimulated and there is like a crowd that's like-minded or you're able to connect with, right? Because then
Yeah.
if you go to a place where you're not able to get along with anybody in the sense you're not connecting with anyone, you're just like, okay, this is just
Yeah,
a
but
waste of time.
contrary
I'd
to
rather be
what
home.
people think that I'm an extrovert and things like that, I'm not, right? So it takes doubly hard for me
Yeah,
to kind
yeah.
of, go up to somebody and speak to them. It actually needs like a lot of talking. And that's sometimes misunderstood as arrogance in my case, but actually that's not the case. It
I
just,
think I think it's because you're considered like 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 the boss, right? So you have like your founder of Kids Stop Press, and like people have this expectation out of you. And how can you be like you're good
yeah,
at
but
your job, you're so good at everything, you're like getting things together, you're like reaching out to millions of people, and then you don't want to socialize.
I'm telling you, I've always had this arrogant tag on me, and I'm also very so. Like I said, just because I am a little bit of an introvert, it takes me a little bit more time, right? But once I find my comfort with somebody, I'm much better off. But yeah, you're right. Like somebody will think like "Arey, usko kya problem hai? Why can't she talk, right? Or why is she feeling out
Yeah.
of place? Or
So
why she's standing in a corner?" But
yeah.
it's just harder.
And
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's because of your title, people mistaken you for like, oh, she just has arrogance. But that's not true. You're just like, you're just a reserved person who's shy, that's it, or just like not very open to speak about things or whatever. So I get it, yeah.
You
I
are
feel you.
yeah, I'm glad somebody does because it's and I always tell people just give the other person the benefit of doubt because maybe they are they're like me who doesn't intend to or mean it or whatever, but kind of just has to
Yeah,
play the part, right? So just give the other
yeah.
people the benefit of doubt. And when people say mean or nasty things, I just say it's okay, maybe they're having a bad day, just give them credit, right? We all go through our shit. So that's how I leave it. And I feel like if you apologize or say things that make somebody feel a little more comforted and better, I'm like, okay, kya farak padta hai,
Yeah,
might as well
yeah.
just
It's
say
not.
it. Do you ever feel that you will be judged because you share too much? Do you ever feel that?
I don't feel it, but yeah, I mean, you're going to be judged irrespective. So whether you share things or whether you don't share things, like in your case, you are highly successful. People are going to judge you for it for another reason. If you do something, you're going to be judged irrespective because people are there to talk. And
Yeah.
anyways, it's not going to make a difference in your life.
So
How?
it was never a thing that did you ever question yourself before you put things out there that should I share this, should I not share this, and anything like that? Do you debate a lot before you put things out onto social media?
I don't I should sometimes have a filter, but I don't. Only reason being I feel like I'm not saying anything to harm someone. But if it comes across that way and someone does reach out to me and tell me that it is offended, then I will apologize. But if I'm not saying anything with any malice in my heart or anything that I have, then I'm just going to speak my mind. And then,
No, I,
if
I think that's one of the, because you share so much, that's one of the biggest reasons why I feel so connected, right? Like, I cannot believe that somebody is strong all the time. Like, somebody has no story or something to share where they're in their weaker moments. I don't.
this is just because this.
One of the biggest reasons I feel like I connect with you is because you share, right? So that's why I can connect with you, right? Because I just feel like if that wasn't that imperfect side of you, then I don't know how, like it's
Yeah.
just too ice cold for somebody to feel like. And people always ask me that, okay, how are you so perfect? Or, what's so correct about you and whatever. And I said, if you actually know me and if you meet my class moms, you'll know that I'm the goofiest parent who forgets everything. Like it's actually the good thing that my children have become extremely capable and responsible after that. But I am pretty much the most goofiest one who has to be reminded, listen, have you filled this? Today is the last day. So I totally get it when you say that there's no other choice and people will judge you irrespective. So it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
I mean, exactly.
Yeah.
And you must be knowing, I mean, you know that because you've come up and you built whatever you built for yourself, not because people are judging you. Built it in spite of and in spite of that, because you know, I mean, you believe what you're going to do is going to affect and help so many other people. And well, there are going to be some people who are going to judge you, but it's going to help so many others that you're like, you know, it's totally worth it. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
like, when I started out, my mom told me this very important thing, which has kind of stayed with me forever. And she said, whenever you start anything in life, just remember one thing, which is, सबसे बड़ा रोग है क्या कहेंगे लोग, right? Just keep that into your head, put blinkers on, and don't
That's so
turn
well
back.
said.
Because most often than not, and she's like, you're starting something, and I come from a very academic family, and my parents were like, oh my god, you're leaving such a good job, and like, how are you going to
Yeah.
do what if this doesn't work or whatever? And I was like, mom, what if it doesn't work? She's like, it may not work, be prepared for that. But and that's something that people will always tell you, that why are you leaving a flourishing job and whatever and starting something. But she's like, that's the perks of those are the perks of entrepreneurship, right? That you start something, and if you like something, then you'll go on with it,
Yeah.
right? She said, but
Yeah.
don't worry if people pull you down, because
Yeah.
that's their job.
Yeah.
And just look for the nicer people who will help you go up. but
Yeah.
but just don't worry about what others say, because it'll never happen. Before we sign off, anything that you want to share that can really help parents, of what
Sorry.
you've been through, or what really helped you or worked for you in the last 4 months, that they can make note of or take count of?
I think what has really worked for us, which we've not really thought much into it, is because just have your routine as to what you would do normally with your child or what needs to be done. Get those things aligned. And then apart from that, just figure some goofy stuff out that you can do with yourself, and also take a lot of bathroom breaks. Not going to the bathroom, but taking a break in the bathroom, because that's the only place. I mean, I do that. I take a lot of bathroom breaks in the middle of things. I'm like, okay, now I can't shut the door off because Nora's going to be banging on the door. So I take my phone inside quietly, go sit down, and literally I've messaged Shraddha on the pot saying that, I'm so bored. I want to just like, can you just talk? Let's just hang for some time. And I've like spoken to her and then caught up with somebody else. Okay, okay, then I'm like getting out. So I do that.
I'm wondering that when Nora grows up, she's going to wonder, why did my mom do this? Like, every 5 minutes she's in the bathroom, which is amazing. So how much time do you spend on Instagram every single day? I need to know that.
That's a lot, must be, because every time Nora goes to sleep in the afternoon, I am checking something or I'm writing something. So I'm replying. So I think maybe like 2 hours or something.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to see you hopefully very soon.
Yes, or else
Yes.
I'll hound you.
Yes, please do.
Thank you for giving me this
Thank you.
platform and talking to me.
Awesome. Love you
Always.
always. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.